You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? Glad you can join me on another podcast of All Things Sports with Mike Davis. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, follow the podcast. If you're on YouTube, subscribe, comment, like, dislike, all that good stuff. Go to any of the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or suggestions. I won't take up much more of your time. Let's get into it. Okay, so I wanted to touch on the unfortunate injury situation that happened this past Sunday in the NFL with the Saints losing Jamie Winston for the season, and it looks like the Tennessee Titans are also going to lose Derrick Henry for the remainder of the season. So my question really is, what team is going to suffer the most losing their star player? Now, you have New Orleans, and you know what? I'll just give my opinion right here and there. I think the Titans will suffer the most, and here's why. When you look at New Orleans and what Sean Payton has done, over so many years, it really, he's a mastermind when it comes to the offense that he runs. And we've seen Drew Brees go down, and we've seen him plug in Taysom Hill, or he plug in Jameis Winston. We've seen him plug in the Broncos QB now, Teddy Bridgewater. Remember, Bridgewater went 5-0 when he played in place for injured Drew Brees. I have more faith in what Sean Payton will do with the Saints. I haven't seen much of Trevor Siemian. The only thing I know really about him is it didn't work out with the Broncos when he was there. He didn't look that bad Sunday. So now you have a situation where if you are Sean Payton, who are you going to? Are you going with Taysom Hill, who was out for week 8 with a concussion, or are you going to turn the ball over to Trevor Siemian? So there's a lot of ways he can go with that. I, for one, I've seen more Taysom Hill, so I would go that way if I'm Sean Payton. And it's unfortunate what happened with Jameis Winston, because Jameis Winston was having a pretty decent year, because, judging him by his standards, he had thrown for over 1,100 yards, 13 touchdowns to just 3 interceptions. We are talking about the interception king, okay? The modern day interception king, and 13 touchdowns to 3 picks. Jameis Winston was having a fantastic season, and unfortunately that season is now over with a torn ACL after being tackled with a horse collar tackle in the game on Sunday. So he is done for the year with a torn ACL. I like the Saints too. I don't think they miss a beat. The Saints have one of the best defenses in the league, and they're in a situation where it's one of the few times a team can just plug another quarterback in, and you have Taysom Hill, who has ran the offense before, so he'll be no stranger to whatever Sean Payton wants to do. You look at the Tennessee Titans. The Tennessee Titans' bread and butter is running the football. Now, with Henry done for the season, they just signed Adrian Peterson, I believe, and I don't know what exactly that's going to, how much that's going to work for the Titans. I just don't know. I mean, Adrian Peterson is in football years 170 years old, so I just don't know. Now Ryan Tannehill does have receivers he can throw to, so all hope is not lost with that Titan offense. You got Julio when he wants to play. I'm a Falcon fan. I've seen Julio for years. I'm telling you, he's a beast when he wants to play. Because when he doesn't want to play, he's going to come up with some nagging little minor injury and he'll miss 2 games. It's already happened this year with Tennessee with him. And then you have Brown on the other side of Julio, who is a phenomenal receiver. So Tannehill does have targets he can throw the ball to. I'm pretty sure Adrian Peterson is just going to be asked to come in and just get positive yards. They're not going to ask him to average what Henry averages. I believe Henry was averaging at least 4 yards a carry. I don't think you're going to get that with Adrian Peterson. I could be wrong, but I feel that the Tennessee Titans are in a worse situation than the New Orleans Saints. So I don't think the New Orleans Saints will miss a beat. I think the Tennessee Titans will slow down quite a bit after coming up with some big wins. So look, that's all I got for you today, folks. I thank you for including my podcast into your day. If you're listening on Spotify, do yourself a favor, follow the podcast. If you're on the YouTube side of things, subscribe, comment, like, dislike the video if you have to. Let me know in the comment section, what do you think? Who is going to keep rolling and who is going to kind of take a step back? So after you do that, make sure you go to any of the social media links in the description box to get in contact with the show for any comments or any suggestions. You've been listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis. And remember, it's your world. I'm just giving my opinion. I'm out. Peace.
You're listening to All Things Sports with Mike Davis.